Have you ever stopped to wonder why dates, those soft, sweet little fruits, have been prized for centuries across ancient civilizations? It turns out, modern science is now catching up with what traditional cultures seemed to know all along. These chewy gems pack more than just sugar. They're loaded with surprising health benefits. But what if you made a habit of eating just 2 of them every single day for a whole month? Would your body truly notice the difference? Could the results be as powerful as some people claim? And with all that natural sugar and carbohydrates, can people with diabetes safely include them in their diet without risk? We're diving into all of that in this video, including a fascinating claim you've probably heard, that dates can actually help ease labor for pregnant women. Sound too good to be true? We'll break down what the science says a little later. First, let's explore the 7 powerful health benefits that might unfold when you start adding dates to your daily routine. Benefit number 1, a stronger, healthier heart and cardiovascular system. Your heart will thank you. Seriously. Dates might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of heart-healthy foods, but don't let their sweetness fool you. These fruits are naturally rich in antioxidants and powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that work wonders for your cardiovascular system. One key player here, flavonoids. They help open up your blood vessels and ease arterial inflammation, lowering your risk of heart disease. Then there are polyphenols, which have been shown to raise your good cholesterol, HDL, while lowering the bad, LDL, offering added protection, especially if you're pre-diabetic or managing type 2 diabetes. And let's not forget potassium, a mineral most people don't get nearly enough of. Just 2 dates a day can make a measurable difference. In fact, gram for gram, dates contain nearly double the potassium of bananas. That's huge for balancing excess sodium and supporting healthy blood pressure. They also deliver a healthy dose of magnesium, a mineral that helps relax blood vessels, boost circulation, and lower the risk of heart attack or stroke. It even promotes a steady heartbeat, critical for long-term heart health. 2. Your skin might just start to glow. Looking for that radiant, natural glow? Dates could become your new secret weapon. These fruits are rich in skin-supporting antioxidants like flavonoids and phenolic acids, which protect skin cells from oxidative stress and chronic inflammation, 2 key drivers of premature aging. They also contain vitamin B6, which helps your body manage inflammation, potentially calming issues like redness or acne flare-ups. But there's more. Dates are full of dietary fiber, and that means good news for your gut. Why does gut health matter for your skin? It's all thanks to the skin-gut axis, the fascinating link between a balanced microbiome and a clear, healthy complexion. So when you eat dates, you're not just nourishing your body, you're fueling a deeper kind of beauty that starts from within. 3. Your digestion will thank you, with fewer bloating episodes and more regularity. If you've been struggling with bloating, sluggish digestion, or constipation, dates could be a natural solution hiding in plain sight. These small, nutrient-dense fruits are rich in both soluble and insoluble fiber, which play 2 key roles in digestive health. Soluble fiber dissolves in water and forms a soft, gel-like texture that makes stools easier to pass. Meanwhile, insoluble fiber bulks up your stool, helping to keep things moving smoothly and preventing that uncomfortable, backed-up feeling. But there's more. Dates also contain pectin, a type of prebiotic fiber that feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. These microbes do the behind-the-scenes work, breaking down food, extracting nutrients, and defending your gut from harmful invaders. By eating just 2 dates a day, you're giving your gut the tools it needs to function better, naturally. In fact, a study in the British Journal of Nutrition found that people who regularly consumed dates experienced significantly more frequent bowel movements, clear proof of improved digestive health. 4. Your brain may start to perform at a sharper level. Beyond digestion and skin benefits, dates also fuel your brain. These chewy fruits contain a solid dose of vitamin B6, essential for producing neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, chemicals that regulate your mood, focus, and motivation. Just 2 dates a day can deliver about 15% of your daily B6 requirement. They're also a good source of choline, a nutrient tied to better memory, learning, and mental performance. Choline plays a critical role in making acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter your brain relies on for sharp thinking and recall. And let's not forget the antioxidant powerhouse dates bring to the table. Their high antioxidant content helps guard your brain against oxidative stress and inflammation, both of which are major contributors to cognitive decline as we age. So whether you're trying to stay sharp at work or protect long-term brain health, those 2 dates a day may be doing more for your mind than you realize. 5. You'll feel more energized without the crash. Picture this. It's the middle of the afternoon. Your eyelids are heavy, and you're this close to reaching for a sugary snack or that 3rd cup of coffee. Sound familiar? Now imagine a simple habit. Just 2 dates a day, giving you a natural lift without the crash. Dates are a powerhouse of natural energy, thanks to their perfect blend of glucose and fructose, which your body can absorb quickly and convert into clean, lasting fuel. Unlike processed sugar, the fiber in dates slows down how fast those natural sugars hit your bloodstream. That means no wild spikes and no sudden crashes. It's especially helpful if you're trying to manage your blood sugar or reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. Add in potassium, B vitamins, and other key nutrients that help your body generate energy at the cellular level. And it's clear, dates aren't just sweet, they're smart. Better digestion, fueled by fiber, also means better nutrient absorption, which plays directly into sustained energy. Enjoy them straight out of the pack, dice them into your morning oats, or toss them into a smoothie for a healthy, energizing boost. 6. Your bones get a quiet but powerful boost. When it comes to bone health, calcium gets all the attention, but dates offer supporting minerals that are just as crucial. These include magnesium and phosphorus, both of which team up with calcium to keep your bones strong and resilient. Magnesium supports bone density and structure, while phosphorus works hand in hand with calcium to build and maintain healthy skeletal tissue. While dates alone won't reverse bone loss, incorporating them into a nutrient-rich, bone-friendly diet is a smart and tasty move. 7. Your blood sugar may actually improve. It sounds counterintuitive. How can something so sweet be good for blood sugar control? But dates have a low glycemic index, meaning they won't spike your blood sugar the way processed sweets do. The fiber slows down sugar absorption, while the antioxidants in dates help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 underlying issues that worsen insulin resistance. So, even though dates are naturally sweet, moderation makes them manageable, even for people with diabetes. Just 2 dates a day can fit comfortably into a blood sugar-conscious lifestyle, offering flavor, fiber, and function in every bite. But what about that surprising claim? Can dates really ease labor for pregnant women? You've probably heard the stories. Women eating dates in the final weeks of pregnancy and having smoother, faster labors. Is it just a myth, or is there science behind it? Can dates actually make labor easier? Science says, maybe. Here's where things get really interesting, because there's actual research backing up the idea that dates may help ease labor. In one study involving 69 women, those who ate 6 dates a day during the final 4 weeks of pregnancy experienced shorter first-stage labor, better cervical dilation, and were less likely to need medical induction compared to women who didn't eat any dates. Another study with 154 women found similar results. Those who consumed dates later in pregnancy required fewer interventions to induce or accelerate labor. Researchers suggest that something in dates, possibly a mix of natural compounds and nutrients, could support the body's natural labor process. Plus, dates provide magnesium, iron, and calcium, minerals that are especially important during pregnancy for both mom and baby. Of course, if you have a medical condition or dietary restriction, it's best to check with your doctor before making any changes. How about you? Do you enjoy dates, or are you thinking about adding them to your daily routine? Have you noticed any benefits yourself? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share your experience. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a new post. Thanks for watching, and here's to small daily habits that make a big impact on your health.